Hey, so I wasn't planning on making this video originally. I did toy around with the concept from time to time, but I never felt it was a huge deal to make. But after a certain incident involving my characters earlier this year, in addition to other incidents with other people's characters, I felt it was time to fully put this out there. And I personally recommend other creators with OCs do the same if they're watching this. In this video, I'll be explaining my terms of use for my original characters. This specific video is fully diving into matter on my characters. Fair warning, I may sound a little bit aggravated at times, but it should be known that I have made these terms for the sake of protecting my characters and keeping them true to themselves. Also, don't attack any user I indirectly mention here. This is not a call-out video whatsoever, but more of an observation whenever I mention someone, if at all. So don't wage any wars at all, that's not what this is about. But now then, let's just start at the beginning. For my OC terms of use, I'll split it into 3 categories for this video. The don'ts, the do, and what if. This is the easiest way to establish everything, I feel. We will start with the don't. Following is what I ask people to not entangle my OCs into. I ask that you do not use my OCs in your own series, movie, AU, or headcanon, or other similar matter. This one I was hesitant on implementing, as I originally wanted everyone to just hold off adapting my characters until after I made their debut stories public. And also because I see many creators use other OCs in really good ways. But after seeing how many people just flat out steal other people's OCs for their own work and severely altering them to fit their narrative, it's just not the best thing to see, you know? And also, being properly credited for your work and creations is very important to me. That is a minuscule case, but it is much more common when it comes to OCs within the Thomas fandom. As fun as this fandom is, and I really like being in this fandom, there's always a need to keep your guard up in terms of this stuff, as with any fandom, you know? I've also had an instance where a user on Twitter, which I actually forgot the name of, I can't find it anymore, about a year ago I think, used my OC Sigrid for their AU thread, and they heavily altered her just so they can fit in the AU, which is just character flanderization of my own characters, you know? Just not really fun to see, OC or official. This is why I ask that creators refrain from using my OCs in their own work. Now this next don't is very important, and this directly relates to an incident earlier this year where I had a crash out on my community tab, and also elsewhere too. I think a lot of you remember that. But for the love of God, do not, and I mean do not, use any of my characters for adult related stuff. This should go without saying since these are locomotives we are talking about here. But there was an incident where a creep was outed for like weird behavior, and their actions involved AI porn bots of Thomas characters, and one of my OCs was stolen for this just disgusting behavior. This is why I'm having to bring this up. I really didn't want to bring this up, but I've been left with no other choice, so just don't use my OCs for that. Or for any AI related anything, generative or otherwise. Not even any of those like Tubber bots or whatever. Just don't involve any of my work or OCs in that AI crap. Keep it all safe for work. And speaking of which, we now segue into the do section. Basically just like stuff I'm okay with other people doing involving my characters. This section is a lot more positive as this is the kind of stuff I like seeing. And you do not have to ask me before doing the following. Fan art. I love fan art. I just love seeing fan art on my OCs out there. It is so cool. Just as long as it's safe for work. And also that you tag me in the post for your art, as I just love seeing it. It is always a treat to see many amazing artists create pieces for my characters. I just love seeing them. Another thing I'm also fine with is memes. You're all allowed to create memes involving my OCs and like funny, harmless memes. We all love memes here, so I'll just have some fun with it, you know? Pretty cool. This final section I just call the what if section. Basically anything you are allowed to do, but with certain conditions I ask you follow first. Let's say, what if you want to create a trains model or 3D model of one of my OCs? Me personally, I'm okay with trains models as long as they aren't publicly available, as this can lead to people stealing my character and using it for their series and other crap. I'd also just want to have that other like modelers ask me beforehand if they want to use my character for a 3D model, as something like that has yet to be done as of now, and I'll prefer to be involved in that in some capacity. Another but what if is, what if you want to make a physical model of one of my characters? I would say just ask me beforehand, but do not make any physical models of my characters solely for the sake of selling it publicly on places like eBay, Etsy, or any other equivalent of that, as that can just lead to some other issues as well. But please don't sell any digital, physical model or model parts that are connected to my OCs, please. And that's everything involving my OC terms of use. I know this video is kind of bleak, I guess, but I felt it was about the right time to make this video. And I hope this video, at the very least, inspires other creators with OCs to make similar videos outlining what they're okay with and not okay with for their characters. As people stealing characters is honestly really sad, and I'm never been okay with it. So hopefully this video sets a precedent for other creators like taking steps to protect their characters, you know? And that's about all I have to say about this, so I'll just get to the outro. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all same time next week.